Hi, we're so awkward. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Rachel.
This month we're going to be making a casserole carrier.
Yes, weather's warming up and we're going to be going to those cookouts and barbecues outside. And what are we going to bring our brownies or other dishes in?
Yeah, because we don't all make casseroles.
No, I don't think I have ever.
No, I've never.
Yeah, so
Deviled eggs.
Oh, yeah, you could put your deviled eggs in it, or brownies, or cookies, or anything that's in a tray, and you want to be able to carry it.
Yeah, and an adorable carrier.
Or if you need something to stay warm on the way over to the place you're going.
Yes. This is going to be fun. So, and I quote, should be a simple project. We shall see. You ready?
Knock on wood.
This isn't real wood.
Yeah, it's sort of wood.
Okay.
All right, let's get
Let's
sewing. We got this pattern at our local craft store, and it calls for a 5/8 of a yard of fabric or a half yard plus an 1/8 of a yard of contrasting fabric for the handles. And we are doing, or I am doing, just one, or both sides are going to look the same, and then the handles will be the same matching. I'm not doing a contrast. So we need two 18-inch squares. What's 36 minus 18?
18.
Thank you.
Today's information brought to you by Matt.
I don't like that. And then also you're going to need an 18-inch square of Insulbrite. We've used this before in other projects, and we just got such a huge package of it, it's never ending. So this stuff is an insulating fabric, so you're never going to want to use it in something that you're going to put in the microwave. So keep that in mind, because it does have metal in it to reflect back your heat, so it keeps things warm. And anyway, we're going to sew now.
Brooke's thread tray. Rachel's thread tray. Brooke's thread tray. Rachel's thread tray.
Hey!
Which tray most describes you?
Who has time for that? Who has time to organize their thread, please?
I do.
Can you organize mine then, if you have so much time?
Your tray's going to be organized by the end of the day today.
This is why it's so fun to sew with a buddy. One of you can be ironing while the other one sets up what's to be ironed. Like me and Brooke. We make a good team.
I think she just doesn't want to get her fingers burned.
Who, me?
And now we experience Rachel in a cinematic way. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Da ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. When you have an easy project, you enjoy the little moments in between, like threading the machine.
You can't even see what I'm doing over here.
And she's done.
Oh, I still gotta do the bobbin.
Oh.
I'm just gonna plop this in here, whatever.
It'll feel so much better when it's organized.
Yeah, but then it'll just get unorganized again.
Not mine.
Welcome to the Awkward Corner, where we have so many opinions. I'm Brooke, and with me is Rachel. Today's topic of discussion is the 1/4-inch foot. Rachel, what's your...
First I want to thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, well, it's been lovely. Yes. So, what's your opinion on the 1/4-inch foot?
It's useful.
You are so right. It is very useful. Thank you for joining us in the Awkward Corner.
We're both seam ripping now. The easiest projects always require the most seam ripping, right? We got like bubbles in here, and I think it's because the Insulbrite is so squishy. I'm wondering if it would have been better, Brooke, to sew the fabric around and then sew the insole right to it.
So,
What do you think?
As long as you left that 6-inch opening, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Six
that
inches.
way you seal the position of the fabric. Well, I don't know. I think it would still shift.
But it wouldn't create those bubbles, would it?
It could but with both of them, with both loops, right?
2 bubbles. Yikes.
So yeah, I think it would still happen. I think more clips. And
I
think
used a
sewing
lot for
on
me.
Huh?
I said I used a lot of clips for me.
Okay.
Something to be mindful of when you're sewing is just to stop and smooth out your project so that you don't get the bubbles that Brooke and I got.
You know, another thing that could help is if you get a little...
Oh, you mean I should be using my Sew Steady?
You're so steady because it gives you a more further surface to put it on. I really want to get a sewing machine desk where the sewing machine sits flush with the desk and then you have that whole surface. It'd be really helpful for quilting. But this will keep the project more flat and it would help prevent any of that bubbles.
Oh, you mean I should be using the thing that I own over here? All right, cool.
Is this hot pad too big? I am hot pad woman. I have a hot pad for an arm. Isn't that funny? That's the only thing I can think of. I'm stitching 1/8 of an inch around the border of my giant quitter. I have to say it.
A giant what?
I had to say it.
Oh.
I have to make change. Anyway, I'm stitching 1/8 of an inch around my square, and then it says to quilt as desired. So
What if you don't desire?
What if I don't desire anything?
Brooke is going to be doing her quilting starting with the center B and then making the little trail that it's gonna be going on.
Like it's buzzing around.
How cute. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking boring. It's that time of the month for our monthly tip. Just the tip. Do you have one of these for your sewing machine?
Yes.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Or what it does?
No.
Oh, well, it's a little attachment that goes onto the ankle of your sewing machine foot. And it's called a seam guide. And you put it on there and then you can sew straight seams that are equally distant apart. So you can use it for stripes. There's usually a hole in the back for you to put it. And then you just tighten up the screw. And you put it in your machine. You put your thing in. And then you can set it for whatever length you want. And it will always guide your machine. And then you move it over and then you just follow your seam that you already started. So like for this one, I did 1/8 of an inch seam around the edge and then I set my guide on there. And then you swing it down and then you just follow along. And it keeps you going in a straight line. And it's really fun to use for stripes and any kind of other quilting where you need to have an equal distance between your seams.
Good tip.
Hope it helps.
So we're now adding our loops to the little carrier, and I had to redo mine because I wasn't happy that I left the orange in and you can see the orange on the other side. So I redid it. So I'm going to put loop on one corner, one on its opposite corner, and then I guess you just attach this strap across.
Yeah,
and you
that's
pull
what I
it
did.
through the loops.
Well, you put the loops over it, but don't make sure not to twist it when you sew it on.
Okay.
And then it kind of looks like that.
You're done already.
I am. It's always a race here.
This month's plant of the month is the Tillandsia, or commonly called the air plant. Tillandsia is a little plant that likes to live on little nooks and crannies of trees or rocks because it's mostly just leaves. Really isn't any root base, and they just kind of hang out. And they actually take the water in through the leaves. So humidity is very important for this plant. Or you can also, when you own it, you're going to spritz it a few times a week, or you're going to soak it in water upside down 5-10 minutes once a week to give it some water.
I soak it for 15 minutes every time my mom comes over.
And that's a good way to remember too. Ladies and gentlemen, let the Lanzia sing. We're done.
Yeah, early.
Can't believe it didn't take that long to do this. It's great.
Yeah, that's what happens when you follow a pattern and it's not very many pieces.
Yes. And they're so cute. Definitely can put like a little 8 to 9 inch size pan in there.
Yeah.
Dish, plate.
Not a rectangle, but a square or a round one.
Yeah. Yeah.
A small casserole. Or maybe brownies. Warm brownies at a picnic. Yum.
Okay, I want brownies now. Okay, so you open it up. There's your one side. Look at my bees. My bees flying around.
Brooke did a cute little design. I did
Yes.
squares.
I think squares work
Concentric
well for that.
squares, and it worked really well.
Yeah. So how many fat quarters?
I would totally give this 5 fat quarters because it was easy, fun, and I would definitely make it again, but I really have no need. But maybe if I want one in a different fabric for a different holiday, maybe?
Yeah, that's
I don't
a
know.
good idea.
That could be fun.
That's a good idea.
I don't really go to places yet, but maybe soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
What else could you put in here?
Snacks, eggs,
Brownies?
brownies, random things
I'm
on
gonna
your
put
shelf.
like a little chicken in here. Maybe if you collected eggs, I don't know.
Ooh, I'll put the bunny in.
Okay.
So anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
And
Until
until
next
then,
time, don't forget to be so awkward.
now it's time to figure out whose is whose. Whose is whose?
Thanks, Brooke.
You're welcome.